Welcome to Riz Extra. We're talking with Republican Congressman Ron Paul, also a former presidential candidate. We're here at the Republican National Convention in St. Paul, Minnesota. Congressman, good to have your time. And I wonder, in your opinion, is the U.S. ready for a third political party, a third way, a third system?
Oh, it certainly is ready. It's just that the opportunity isn't there. Our laws are so biased against it. We have a monopoly control over our system. We don't have a lot of democracy in our country, in my estimation, because the two parties, control things. They control the process and how you get on ballots, and yet their views are so similar. So if you happen to disagree, say, on foreign policy, you don't have much option. If you go into a third party, libertarian, constitutionalist, Green Party, you really don't get any attention, any money. You don't get into the base. The country is ready. They're very frustrated. I've seen some statistics that show that 65% of the American people aren't really happy with their two choices.
Well, sir, there are those who say that you and Libertarian Party candidate Bob Barr might end up splitting the vote for Senator John McCain in some crucial states. Now, is that a fair assessment?
Oh, some people think that. I don't think you really can tell for sure, but from my personal experience, I think I'm not on the ballot, but if those people were to leave and go with McCain or somebody, I would think as many would come from Obama because of the appeal to the young people on civil liberties, personal choices, and our foreign policy. So the idea that only conservatives would get frustrated with McCain isn't true. I think there's a lot of other people. They should think about the people that may leave Obama and come over as well.
Of course, sir, your campaign has been very quick to use the internet. You have a huge support base on the internet, and were one of the first really to sort of harness the power of it. And I wondered, how important a role does the internet play for you and your campaign, and what impact you feel it's had?
Well, the campaign, it was crucial. You know, we raised a significant amount of money, broke some records in one day, and total was over $35 million. But we didn't really have a great financial operation, fundraising operation. And it was done spontaneously. The grassroots loved the message, and they would organize the fundraising. So it was sort of a spontaneous operation on the internet. But most of the money was raised on the internet, which made it cheap. You know, if you do direct mail, it's very costly to raise money. And yes, it's out there, but I think it's the message. It wasn't the technique. It was technology available to energetic individuals, and they were able to spontaneously promote our campaign.
Although there are those who believe the Republican Party has been slow to understand the power of the internet and the World Wide Web, and perhaps that's limited the youth-based support for the party. It's kept it old world and traditional.
Well, I think it's back to the reasons. I think if they look, and I have members of our party come and show us the technique. It isn't the technique. I mean, I just admitted I didn't even know the technique. But you need to energize people and get them excited about a message. That's what did it. So Republicans can't, really master the internet if they have the same policies that have made them a losing party. They haven't been winning lately because the people are tired of deficits and they're tired of the foreign policy. So unless you change that, the people, once they change their policy and they're right, they don't have to master the internet. The internet will assist them spontaneously.
How does your foreign policy differ from the mainstream parties, and how important is it to your campaign?
Well, it's very important. That's to me the most important issue, other than the overriding issue of liberty. It differs dramatically at this particular time, not so much from the other parties, because if you look at the Libertarians, the Constitution Party, the Green Party, and Ralph Nader, we have a lot of things in common. But if you look at the two major parties, it's dramatically different. We are non-interventionists. We're not isolationists. We want to trade with people, and we want to be friends, and we want to travel. But we don't want to police the world, and we don't want to have high tariffs, and we don't want to have protectionist walls around it. And both major parties, to a degree, believe in that because they use the WTO, for instance. If there's what they can think is unfair competition, somebody's underselling, they go to the WTO to get permission to put on tariffs. And we don't believe in that. We think tariffs should be very, very low and equal for everybody.
What are your hopes and your expectations for the November vote, and how do you see it having any real impact on how America moves forward in 2009?
Well, immediately there's not going to be much impact. The policies are going to continue. The troops aren't going to come home. The budget will not be balanced. They will not look into the ornery Federal Reserve System that needs addressed, and the reason why we have financial bubbles and recessions in the business cycle. That's not going to happen. Probably the most significant thing would be a significant number of people, that's 65%, who are unhappy with their choices. Maybe if they started voting spontaneously for third-party candidates, say, wow, 25% of the American people rejected the two candidates. But actually, more than 25% of the people reject the candidate all the time, because most people know this already, and they just stay at home. But they don't get recorded. And I'd like them to be recorded and say, I'm not voting for the status quo. And the only way you can do that is either announce that you're boycotting and be organized boycott, or vote for another candidate.
Congressman, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Good to be with you.
Congressman Ron Paul there, Republican congressman, joining us here for the Riz Extra at the Republican National Convention in St. Paul, Minnesota. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you soon.